Hello, everyone. I'm Maria Contreras, and today I will be talking about the module that we all just watched, which is Teachers as Change Agents. And I want to start about talking about my initial thoughts on the module. There were many things that I've heard of. There were a couple of not new information, but the information was presented in a totally different way that had me thinking outside of the box. I've been teaching for a couple years now, but I've been at my school site for more than 8 years. And just, going through this entire module had me thinking about specific examples and specific events that have occurred where I myself have seen or met other teachers that are not technically change agents, but more of technicians. So after watching the module, I began thinking about ways that I can become more of a change agent, because there are times that I feel like I'm a technician and I need to make sure that I'm always that change agent, that teacher that the students will be able to feel comfortable and be in a really safe learning environment at all times with no judgment and no sort of barriers. So I created a slideshow just to highlight some of my points. So there were three key takeaways that stood out to me. So the first one is there is no right way to do culturally responsive pedagogy. It is rather a way of thinking and a way of approaching the work we do with families, students, and our community. So that was something that really stood out to me, because a lot of the times, we don't necessarily understand that the way that we think is a reflection, and our students see that, our families see that, our communities. So it's really important that our students see the open mind and how we understand where they come from, their backgrounds, and all the experiences that they've had. Another takeaway is it is impossible to talk about CRP without mentioning race, racism, privilege, equity, and oppression. So, all of those things, especially right now, are something that it's an ongoing issue. Even more at this moment in time, students understand that and they see that, and them having a teacher and a change agent that sees who they are, understands where they come from, understands what backgrounds they're coming from, and what specific events have occurred, it allows for us to reach our students at a totally different level and not just academically. So another thing I wanted to add was about agents of change, is how we view our students as not what they can't do, but more of we want to view all students as capable learners who have valuable knowledge to draw upon in the pursuit of new learning. So we shouldn't see our students as they can't do something because of their race or because of their socioeconomic status, or their parents, or any type of barriers, because once they walk into our classroom, they come with a certain knowledge that we can help grow. We can help challenge them and provide them with multiple opportunities of learning. So it's not just us accepting and being open minded, but it's more of creating lessons, making lesson plans, making activities where all of our students are able to access the curriculum. We should be aware of who our students are as individuals and what our families are in need of. And just we need to keep in mind that our families are our main bridge. We need to be able to bridge the school, the parents, and the students because it's a team. Sorry, that went. So the why, so we want for our dropout rate to not be, we don't want our students to have that option. School discipline, special education, academic achievement, those are our whys. So, what is culturally responsive pedagogy? Using cultural experiences and perspectives of students to teach them more effectively. Placing student cultural and social identities at center of one's teaching. Working toward academic achievement, cultural competence, and critical consciousness. We cannot teach our students unless our students feel comfortable and feel that they are heard and feel safe. And if we do not build our lessons and our everyday activities around who they are as a person, we are not going to be able to teach our students. They won't want to come to school and feel judged and feel like no one accepts them. So we need to be able to put their culture and their identity before and be able to build our lesson plan around that. So teachers as agents of change. So our job is to make the curriculum responsive to students. It's all about them. I can make an amazing math lesson, but if I don't incorporate my students' likings and who they are and where they come from and make sure that it is responsive to them, it will not reach them. So we are trying to change inequitable systems and practices. We are not trying to change the students. Changing the students will do nothing. We need to make sure that we provide enough resources for our families, for our students. We need to make sure that we provide supports for our students to meet their needs. These are the references. So the Stanford Inspire Teachers as Agents of Change module. So I quickly want to go back to the takeaways. Like I said, these were the three major takeaways that I took. I also was able to see some of the case studies, and I really found it interesting when I was reading about Autumn, Silvio, and Alicia, and how they saw themselves as an individual and their teaching practices. I think as teachers, we need to make sure that, we also have our own race and our ethnicity, and it is important for our students to know who we are. But we also have to make sure that we do not leave out any other race. So it is important for us for our kids to know who we are, but it's also important for us to make sure that our students know that every single ethnicity, every single race matters. Okay. So that's it for me. Thank you.